Welcome back to DeForest Hobbies. Today we're going to be working again on Volume 23 of the Space Battleship Yamato. Looks like we're going to be doing a little bit of the some more stuff up on the top deck here. Looks like we're going to be maybe adding in more LEDs and some more circuits to take and work those LEDs eventually, and hopefully they all work. Looks like we're going to be adding on the other half of the hull also. We're going to be putting that together, and looks like this is going to be quite an extensive build part for this one, because pretty much that's what we're going to end up with, is looking like that. And all this talks about is the operations room. It's got the big map on it and everything for what things are going on with the battles. That looks like that's it on this thing. Looks like in the next volume we just get a hull piece, and maybe we'll be doing some more fiber optic work. So let's get to building. Alright, here's the parts to volume 23 in the package. Let's get them out of here. Alright, here we go. We got some stickers here and that. I need to figure out how to color balance that down. Let me try something here a little bit. We will try to lower that down just a little bit. Maybe that'll help us a little bit. That's a little bit better in that. As we get through there, we got that. We got this part here, this here, and this here, and we've got a whole bunch of little things for fiber optics, as we saw before. A little piece of fiber optic, which we'll probably be doing again, and then we've got this big heavy thing with a LEDs, I'm sure of it, in here for the lights. And we've got a bunch of screws, 4 different types of screws in there. So let's get to building this here. Where are we at here? What we need to do is we need to bring, I think we're going to bring this back up here. This part here. Let me back out just a bit here. Make it a little bit wider for us to see what we're doing here. And actually the first thing we're going to be doing is not that. We are going to be actually fitting the other piece to the hull. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be actually putting on these little boys here onto this side of this hull piece. And again, this is the ones that's got the little slot to them here. Let me bring this down just a little bit. Oops, that's the wrong direction. Bring that down here for you to see. And that's got the this part here on it. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a nut in there. Going to sit inside that little space right there, and we're going to marry that up to this here without losing that nut, so that locks it into place. And we're going to get our PHO screwdriver. I'm thinking this is the PHO screwdriver. No, that's the PH1. That's too big. It will not work in these screws. And we're going to need some oil here. What we're going to need. So we're going to take and get the shorter of the flange screws that we had. These ones here. What we're going to do. And we will put that there. Get that in there some oil. And I'll zoom out just a little bit because I feel like I'm way too close to my work. All the time. Every time. Yes. And we are going to take another here, put that into there, and we will marry that up against this side here, like so. And again, we're going to take one of these silver screws, it's the short ones, and we are going to put, and I apologize for my ice making machine that decides it wants to be naughty today and make lots of noise on me. So we've got that done, and so now we're going to bring up the other part here. That we've been working on. This big hunkin' piece of metal, and it's been cold here and in Michigan, because that's where I'm at. It's in Michigan. You didn't know that. And what we're going to do is we're going to marry this to this with these little prongs here. Oops, let me get that. These little prongs on this thing here are going to go into these little holes here, and the parts that are, well, if I get them on camera here, these parts right here are going to fit towards this direction. We want to make sure that this is folded back there so that we can get into that. And all we're going to do is we're just going to lock this into place like this and bring it over here towards this way, like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put a screw, like this is going to be very hard when we're going to get to bigger parts. We're going to put a screw here and down here. So what we're going to do is we're going to use these longer screws right here, these two of those. We're going to put them down into there. So let's get one of them loaded up. This may get a little bit fun when she gets a little bit longer, because right now she's getting a little bit unwieldy this way here, and she's getting a little thicker in my hand. I think maybe pretty soon they'll be giving us a stand for this to sit on. I'm not sure how good that'll be, but there's one in. Back this up just a hair more so you can kind of, yeah, there we go. There you go. Now you can see what I'm doing. I apologize. I am a noob. I do not know what I am doing. I am just building this machine, and I am trying to tell you how I'm building it. And hopefully showing you something. And hopefully you're having a good time watching. Or at least pretending you're having a good time watching, you know? Just sit there and like and subscribe and stuff. So there we go, we got that there. And there's a top-down view, because I'm sure we're going to be mounting that in. And I'm assuming that the top of this is going to actually just sit in there. It's not actually going to be, well, it looks like it's going to push into these parts right here and there for right now, but I don't know yet. We will see. Time will tell. We get that. But we got that done. Let's move on to the next part. Alright. Put that one away. And I guess now we're going to take this part here, and we're going to take this here, and we might save these little things in case we need to hold something together, or keep them from all flopping around. And what we're going to do, actually, we're going to put that down first. We're going to put, like we did on the other part, put these at both ends of this cable here. Like so. There. And there. And then we're gonna, since these are the same thing, we're gonna plug these into either end into this A7. It is marked there A7. I believe so. Get that pushed in all the way. This is SLL, and this says SLL, and this one says ACL. So we want to keep that in mind when we do that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece here and we're going to mount this with this part here facing forward and this part with the thing facing backwards into that little slot there. I'll flip it over, holding it together, and we're going to grab ourselves a short black screw. Let me see here if we got, yep, they are the same length. And we are going to screw this together into here. Right. Okay. Now what we're going to do is move this to the side here. Our other thing here. We're going to put these off to the side for a second. And we're going to bring this over into here. And what we're going to do is we're going to put it down on this screw mount here and this mount here, taking to make sure that these are not underneath it, so that it sits on there like that. And we are going to again affix this to the plastic piece below it using these black screws that are provided. Also, we want to make sure that we're not pushing down hard on this, because as you recall, underneath here there is this one here that goes to a light fixture, and we have very delicate pieces on the bottom of this that will need to be kept safe. So I might get this turned out. It might be better once we get one of these started. We'll start the other one here. And what I may end up doing here once I get this one started is to turn it on its side like this. Like this. So that we don't break this part right here. I'm very conscientious of not trying to break anything, because I cannot source these parts individually, as far as I know, right this moment, and I'd rather not have to take and do that. But in any case, now that we've got that done, now fiber optics together. So it looks like what we're going to do first is we're going to take the one SL that's up here in front here. We're going to take this one here, and we are going to thread it through as per se and usual, the same procedure here, where we will put this through here down to about 1.5 centimeters, and then they want us to take this short piece of fiber optic, as we did before with another one part, and we're going to slide that through on the opposite part here of this. So if they're like that, come through, and then they want us to take one of these here, flip it over both of those, and press it together with that, like so. So we have it like this again. And then what we're going to do is we're going to find our screw cutters, which I have misplaced yet again around here. I would use these ones here. And we will pardon me for a minute. We will take that and we will take and cut these down evenly right here on that part. We'll save those again for that. And then we're going to take this part here and we are going to put it into just trying to make sure that we, is that right? Yep, we're going to put that into this lower one right here on this side. Pressing into that all the way in as far as she'll go, so she's tight, and she is tight. Now what they want us to do is they want us to take this wire right here, or this fiber, I should say this fiber optic line here, and they want us to thread it through on they show it going through on this side here. They want us to come through this little cavity right here, that's below this other part, which is not the easiest to do, but once you get it threaded in there, and you take a little bit of your time, plus you got to get that little sticker that they had you put on there. That has got to go through there also. And I am showing how I'm getting this in there because most people want to know how did they actually do it, and nobody shows them. I'm apologizing though that you can't see it as well from just that one advantage, but she is what it is. And I am not the guy who has all the equipment like everybody else does at the moment. We pull it through real gingerly like there, and we get it through there. And it's coming through. There we go. Gotta get it through more here. So we get that all in there tight. Without, let's see, this being in there or this one being in there, because we are going to need this one here in just a minute. We'll do it. There we go. So we're going to get that down in there tight like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to grab another one of these little 4-hole fiber optic things. And we're going to slide one of this through here on this side. And we're going to bring this one that's here around onto this side here, as we just did with the other one. Getting them slid through so that they're roughly about they wanted an inch and or 1.5 centimeters, but I think you could probably not have to do it that tight. I think they just want it so that you actually have that, because they're just trying to be consistent with it. Cut these all off again here, like so. And now we're going to put it into this upper one right here, right there. And this is the ACL light. I'm not sure exactly what the difference is, but that's what they want. We get that pushed in as tight as we can until it comes up right against there. Move these off to the side. And finally, we are going to take and get the final pieces here into that one. Yes. We're going to take and this here, and we're going to collect all these SLs up here, which they don't really show us. They do not show us to take and have to try to thread these through. So we're going to get these two here, this one here, and this one here, and we're going to bring all these through individually into this piece here. We'll get it fairly taut here, like that. Bring this all in here. The same here. And they're the same. And then we're going to bring this one in, this shorter one in, put it into this hole here. It doesn't matter which one you put it in, pretty much, as long as they all are in there and they're all the same length, basically, right here, coming out through here. And we're going to press these all in through this piece here, like a saw. We are going to get it in here like a saw. One of them is not being very friendly at the moment. There we go. Press that tight, and again we're going to clip all these off flush with this piece here. Making sure that we got no of these extra pieces in there, that those are all out of the ship. Otherwise we might have a bad time if it gets in the gear housing. So then we're going to take that and we are going to plug it into this part here. And there we go. So then we got it like that. So we've got all those plugged in there like that, ready to go. We'll have to do some wire tidying here around and getting this all set up. But between that there and this here, that's all we've got to do in that volume. Well, if you made it to the end of this video, thanks for watching. And remember, mental note, like and subscribe to be updated to all my content. And thanks for watching. Bye for now. See you later.